And let's break it down. I want you to understand that the most dangerous lie that humanity has ever been told is a lie that's woven into your breakfast cereal, that's woven into your Instagram feed, into your childhood report cards, into your quote unquote harmless TV shows, and even your well-meaning conversations with your family. And the lie is this: you are not enough. You're not smart enough. You're not thin enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not rich enough. You're not manly enough or womanly enough. You're not worthy of love or safety or freedom until you prove it, or until you earn it in some sort of way, or until you buy it. And we are being raised by people who have never felt like they are enough. So of course, we're raised to believe the same thing as well. And here's the kicker of all of it. It's a lie. It was never true. And it is the great gaslight of humanity, I guess you could say, more than anything else. From the moment that you were born, the world really starts training us to forget who you are. And let's be really honest, like, you're fed formulas instead of learning how to trust your intuition. You're graded in school and labeled and put into some sort of box, and you're told that you need to act a certain way and stay inside the lines. You're shown ads on TV and in magazines and everywhere that you look that quietly whisper, you're not good enough. You need to fix yourself. You're broken. Buy here and it'll make you feel better. And then you get handed a phone at some point in time in your life, and suddenly your worth is now determined by likes and shares and comments and followers. And then you're surrounded by junk food and junk content and junk values all over the place. And it's all designed, without being like a conspiracy theorist in any sort of way, it's all designed to do one thing. It's to distract you from the innate power that lives inside of you. Because a distracted, undernourished, emotionally confused human is very easy to control. And we will be right back. Hey, if you've ever wanted to be coached personally by me, right now is your chance. I just opened the doors to Mindset 2.0, which is a 12-week system that's designed to help you finally break free from procrastination, to stop overthinking, stop holding yourself back, so that you can create the life that you want. But the doors are going to close in just a few days, and the first few people who join are going to get a massive discount plus access to exclusive bonuses that I've never put out before. And so if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. All you need to do is go to coachwithrob.com right now. Once again, coachwithrob.com, or you can click the link that's down in the description, and I'll see you on the inside. And now back to the show. I'm not positive of this, but I don't think this is done on purpose. I don't think there's any evil overlord that's sitting there trying to do all of this. I think that we're all just so lost in our society that everything in our society is built by other people who are lost, which only perpetuates the being lostness, which is probably just a word I made up. It's kind of like the blind leading the blind. And so it's kind of like we have this whole thing of just a whole bunch of people not being enough. Now, there is the exploitation of I'm not enough. There is definitely 100% the exploitation of psychologists and advertisements knowing that the core feeling that people have is I'm not enough. It's kind of like a I'm not enough industrial complex. There's an entire economy, most of the economy, that is built on your self-doubt. Just think about that for a second. Companies make money by making you feel like you're not enough. They don't make money if you realize that you're already whole. They don't win unless you decide that you're going to be like, I don't know if I trust myself. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'm smart enough. That's when they win. They don't win if you do trust yourself. They need you to be insecure so that you can keep buying solutions to a problem that they probably invented in the first place. If you don't believe me, there's a really interesting documentary that you should watch. It's on YouTube. It's called The Century of Self. And it starts off the first, I think it's about 4 hours long. It's long, but the first hour is mostly about this guy who's a guy named Edward Bernays. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he used his uncle's psychology to get people to buy. Because before the 1920s, people bought things for logic. They bought something because they needed it. Oh, I'm not able to farm as fast as I need to. I'm going to buy a tractor. And so Bernays took his uncle's psychology and put it into advertisements. He made advertisements make people desire products that they didn't need. And he basically learned through, psychology how to exploit humans so that they didn't feel like they were enough until they bought his products. I'll give you an example of one of them. And this is just a real quick example of how human psychology is exploited in many different ways. He had this thing that happened, and it was called torches of freedom. And, the problem with the early 1920s, the problem for smoking companies, cigarettes and everything, was smoking was considered really taboo for women in the 1920s. But these smoking companies, cigarettes, they went, well, hey, if we're only selling to men, like we're missing another half of the market. We could double our revenue if we could just get women to smoke. So Bernays came in, they hired him, and he reframed cigarettes. Instead of being like something that only men do, he reframed them as a symbol for female empowerment. And so what he did was he hired debutantes to march in the 1929 Easter parade in New York City. And then what they did at one point in time is they all lit cigarettes as an act of protest because he knew that the newspapers would pick up the story. So the newspapers all picked up the story. These debutantes in the New York, Easter parade are all smoking, and they called them torches of freedom. Women are going to proclaim if men are doing it, then we can do it too. And then what happened? Women started smoking in public, associating cigarettes with equality and rebellion. Psychological hook, cigarettes equal power, independence, and defiance of the patriarchy. He was able to basically use psychology to get this to happen. Another thing that he did as well is, cars used to be symbols of like, hey, you only bought a car when you needed transportation. And so he started working with car companies and advised car companies to market cars, not for transportation, but as symbols of status and sexuality. And so cars became emotionally charged products that signaled success for men. And so the psychological hook that he uses, car equals confidence, equals sexual power, equals status. When he used to just be like, hey, I need transportation, I'm going to buy a car. And so he was able to use psychology. This was 100 years ago. What do you think has happened over the past 100 years as far as exploiting how companies are selling their products to you? And look, I want you to understand this as I'm talking about this. The reason why I'm talking about this today is I'm not coming at you with like a tinfoil hat. I'm coming at you really wanting you to see all of the stuff that's kind of meant to keep you down. And I want you to be able to start looking at these things and freeing yourself from it. When you look at like processed food, it's chemically designed to light up your brain and slow your body down. A person that's addicted to food is more like food that's more chemicals than it is food, isn't focusing on their greatness. They're slowed down mentally, physically. They're not going to step into their power. We also have media that feeds outrage and never has any sort of solution. So the media keeps you distracted and it keeps you mad. So therefore, you're not thinking about your own personal power that you have either. Now we have social media algorithms that reward comparison, not connection. Social media is designed to keep you addicted. If your mind is addicted to looking at a screen 2 inches from your face, well, then you're not going to be thinking about how you can be powerful and how you can change the world and the amazing things that you can do. You look at like wellness industries that create new flaws and new fixes. There always seems to be something wrong with you. You ever notice that? New thing that needs to be fixed. And then you look at like politics. Oh, good Lord, right? They keep you so angry at each other that you never actually question the system itself. You're so distracted on us versus them, or about how you were wronged or other people are wrong, that you don't ever have time to take a step back and remember how powerful of a being you actually are. It's a game and most people don't even realize they're playing it. And so the thing that I really want you to understand is that you are more powerful than you can actually understand. Not in a cheesy, like Pinterest quote kind of way. I'm talking about in it scares the shit out of you, in me, and every other person. It's terrifying. It's earth shifting. It's that kind of way is what I'm talking about. Your thoughts can rewire your brain. Your words can change your body chemistry. Your focus can change your literal reality that's out in front of you. And your presence with your children and other people can heal generational pain. This isn't like woo-woo. This is science. It's universal law. You are a walking supercomputer made of stardust and consciousness, running on belief and thoughts. And the moment that you stop outsourcing your worth to other people is the moment that you remember who you are. The whole illusion falls apart when you realize how powerful you are. You don't give a about social media anymore. You don't want to play the games of politics because you're so far above them that you can go out and change the world instead of expecting some other person who doesn't care about you or know you in the first place and is really just trying to get your vote so that they can get themselves further ahead. You don't care about them because you're so far past them that you're the one that's going to change the world, not some random person that's not going to change the world at all. And it goes back to that Merriam-Williamson quote, which is our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant or gorgeous or talented or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. You're meant to shine as children do. So it's not just something that's in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we consciously give other people the permission to do so as well. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That's the entire quote. And that's really what it comes down to is when I say that you're powerful beyond measure, I think most people do kind of have something that lights up inside them like, this feels true, but this also scares the shit out of me. You know, when you look out at the world doesn't want you to wake up. Politics don't want you to wake up. Society doesn't want you to wake up. The government doesn't want you to wake up. Because when you look at an awakened human doesn't buy junk food that they don't need. They don't buy junk that they don't need. They don't numb out on screens for hours a day. They don't obey without question. They don't stay small and quiet. You know, an awakened human, what do? They build movements. They heal trauma. They speak the truth that cracks through status quo. You know, they raise children who remember that they're in their own power, and they break free from a broken system that's trying to keep them down. And that, my friend, is a threat to every single broken institution that our entire lives are built upon. I want you to understand the beautiful thing about this is that you don't need permission to reclaim your power in your own life. You just need to stop believing the lie that you're not good enough. And so let me go through a few different steps I think that could help you if you wanted to kind of start. The first thing that I would recommend, and it's a big undertaking, just so you know, is to start questioning everything. Question your own thoughts. Ask yourself, who told me this? Why do I still believe it? Your beliefs didn't appear out of nowhere. They were shaped by parents and teachers and society and media and religion and everything else. And many of those voices weren't speaking from a place of truth. They were passing down old fear or limiting beliefs or control or dealing with their own unresolved pain. And so begin to start questioning the scripts that you live by. Begin to question the I'm not good enough or the I need to fit in or success looks like this or I'm not worthy of this. You know, does the most powerful version of you believe that? No. So that's a really good question to ask. I'm looking at this. I'm not good enough. Does the most powerful version of me inside of me that I know exists in there somewhere believe that I'm not good enough? You know, and when you start to awaken to this, awakening begins with doubt, not of yourself, but of the conditioning that you have accepted as truth. And this is why it can be hard, you know, when you're doing this is because you're actually like literally pulling up and turning up the bedrock that your life and your belief system has been built upon. And the only way to have, but that is really the only way to have real, true, long-lasting change is for you to just tear up the bedrock of the belief system and everything that your life is built upon. So that's step number one, start questioning everything. Step number two, starve the bullshit and feed your brain. You know, turn off the fear machine. Unfollow anything that makes you feel small. Start paying attention to your inputs. Your inputs will always equal your outputs. You know, it's like the phrase, if you go to a garden and you're in front of the garden and you plant strawberry seeds, you would never expect that if you plant strawberry seeds, tomato seeds would grow. That'd be insane. Well, you can't constantly be surrounded by negative people, watch negative news and negative reality TV where people are screaming at each other and Instagram where you're following people who are negative and expect that your life is magically just going to start being positive and amazing. Your input will equal your output. Start paying attention and curating your inputs. Like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mind becomes what you feed it. What are you feeding your mind? Every scroll, every headline, every conversation, it either, waters your power or it poisons your power. And the news and all of these things, they all profit from fear. Social media profits from your insecurity and dopamine addiction. Advertising only works if you believe something is missing. So be ruthless about your inputs. Feed your mind with truth, with wisdom, with beauty, with challenge, with ways to become an expanded version of yourself. Only what is good for you. You don't need more motivation. You need less noise and more nourishment for yourself. Your mind isn't broken. It's just been hijacked over the years. All of us are like this. It's your turn to reclaim it. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, also take back your body. Eat real food. Stop eating processed stuff. Breathe deeply. Move your freaking body. Stop being so stagnant. Rest whenever you need it. Remember, the cleaner your vessel, this thing that you live inside of, the cleaner your vessel, the clearer your intuition is, the better your brain works. We've been taught unconsciously to kind of disconnect from our body, to judge it, to punish it, to hate it, to ignore it. But your body's your compass. It holds your emotion. It holds your trauma. It holds your truth. It's how you feel, not just how you think. And so when you're eating processed food and not moving your body and having shallow breath and not getting sun and you're overly stimulated, all of this stuff keeps you numb. It keeps you disembodied in some sort of way. It's easier to manipulate somebody like that. And so reconnect by simplifying, eating whole foods, moving how you need to, and giving your body and your brain deep rest, right? Reawakening your cells in some sort of way. So that's step number 3, reclaim your body. Step number 4, sit with yourself. The truth is not out there. It's already inside of you, buried under all of the noise. So if you need to do meditation or journaling or stillness, all of those things bring you home. Don't even listen to me. Don't trust me. I don't want you to. I want you to go deep within yourself and trust yourself. I don't have the answers for you. I believe you do though. And I just hope that I help you rediscover what your answers are. The world keeps you busy and preoccupied for a reason, because busy people don't think. They don't question. They don't wake up. But when you sit in stillness, then you start to get a little bit discomfort. Like, it'll kind of pop up because you're starting to go, I don't really like this thing that I'm doing. I don't really like this part of my life. I don't really like that this thing's happening. I'm going to question this. I'm going to question that. Beneath all of that, if you have enough stillness, is a lot of clarity. And that clarity can't be taught to you. It can't be found in a book. The answers are within you. Being still is one of the most important things you do. Being still. Stillness isn't lazy. It's sitting there to remember who you are, beyond the roles, beyond the labels, beyond the mask, beyond what you've been told what you are. So get quiet. Be honest with yourself. Everything that you have been seeking in the entire world is already within you, but you just have to slow down and be there and hear it. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is to speak power to yourself, not shame. Watch your words. Your mouth is a magic wand. Every single sentence is a spell. Stop casting curses on yourself. Start declaring what you want, who you want to be. Be powerful of the way that you think and the way that you speak. Your words shape your reality, not just internally, but also externally as well. And so your nervous system listens and everything else reacts around you. Oh, I'm just tired. I always mess things up. I never do things right. I'm never able to ... These are all spells that you're casting, and you've cast them so many times you forgot that they were just optional. So start speaking with intention. I'm learning. I'm stronger than I thought. I am enough. I'm powerful beyond measure. I'm more powerful than I can even possibly imagine. So use your voice and your thoughts as a tool of creation, not destruction. You are always narrating your story. Choose a story that sets you free, not the one that keeps you trapped. And so you don't need, if you listen to this, a 10-day cleanser to read 20 more books before you wake up to how powerful you are. You just need to decide you're done with the bullshit. Decide that you don't want to be a pawn anymore. Decide to stop living by somebody else's story. Decide to remember that your power that's inside of you isn't something that you earn. It's something that's already there. It's something that you already are. The greatest revolution that you can be a part of in your lifetime is the one where you take your damn power back. But you've got to choose it. So here's my challenge to you right now. Today, in this moment, stop acting like you're powerless. Take a moment, sit in silence, think about how powerful you are, remind yourself about how powerful you are, and start living and acting like you're completely free from everything. That is how you reclaim your power and be the person that you were born to be. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. YouTube thinks, based off of what you've been watching recently, that you should click this video and watch it next. And if you want to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, which I think that you should, click this button right here.